Animaniacs in Equestria, written by Todd Wand. Always and on your favorite gag. Twilight reappeared in Celestia's throne room, the white alicorn startled awake as all the new visitors appeared. Wah, huh. I wasn't sleeping. Twilight fell to the ground breathing heavily. Okay, princess. Here's your annoyances. Just get rid of them already. Fluttershy and Applejack stood in the crowd now as well. Applejack with an emo swan. What the? Oh, I said I didn't want to be a part of this. Fluttershy made eye contact with Rita and smiled broadly. Oi, Rita moaned. Twilight? Celestia said questioningly as she stood up. Just what is, so you're the big honcho, huh? Yeko had suddenly appeared behind her sitting in her chair. Comfy throne. Pushed aside one of Celestia's wings and ogled it. Can I just say that I love what your hairdresser is doing? How do you get it to wave without wind like that? Weko stayed where he was and crossed his arms. PFFF. I am more of a Luna fan. Celestia went deadpan as the Warners and their companions began to move across the throne room, destroying everything they touched. The Warners began to hop around her going Bearing Bearing Bearing. I see you had your hooves full, Twilight, she muttered. You have no idea. Twilight gasped from the nice cool stone floor. Celestia's horn shined and she shouted a command. Silence. The room quieted and all the cartoon characters ceased moving, caught in her golden magic. Celestia cleared her throat. Now, we like to be fair here, so I'll let you explain why you've come. No need to, Your Highness, an evil voice said from off screen. All the ponies turned and saw a tall man in a blue suit enter, an evil look on his face. You've put the Warners and all their detestable friends in the perfect position for me to end them. Celestia frowned. Now see here. The man pulled out a TV remote and pointed it at her, pressing pause. A symbol with 2 bars appeared next to the princess and she stopped moving. Hey! What did you just do? Pinky asked. I froze her. With the reality-altering remote. Yeko asked as he floated in the golden magic. Why didn't you just use it on us if you wanted to keep us still? Or better yet, just use it from the beginning. Both Pinky and Pinky shouted. Jinx. Quiet. The director yelled. It's my revenge and I'll do what I want with it. Not while we have anything to say about it. Rainbow shouted as all the ponies besides Applejack who still looked completely disinterested in his nonsense. The director pointed his remote at them too. He pressed pause. After dragging the ponies and cartoons into cages that mysteriously appeared inside Celestia's throne room, the director pressed play. Dang, should have seen that coming, Rainbow muttered. Celestia looked furious. You're a fool to think you've gotten away with it. She tried to summon her magic but nothing came. What? How did you get rid of our magic? Twilight asked. The director waved his remote. Can't get light from your hornifying the brightness, so that is lame, Skippy mumbled. Yeah, you seriously couldn't come up with any better reason? Yeko asked. I am an evil mastermind. The director shouted angrily. And now I am going to finish you. He pulled out his cell phone. There's still one last number. And you won't be laughing or making jokes when I call the Viper. The Viper? Celestia questioned. He pressed a button and a pin of a message received was made. It's too late, princess. Soon the Viper will come through the stained glass window of the throne room. Came a knocking. Everyone turned in shock to see a large serpentine shadow rise from behind it. The Viper. The Good Feathers shouted. The Viper. Skippy and Slappy shouted. The Viper. The Warners shouted. The Viper. The main 6 echoed in confusion. Suddenly the window opened to reveal a lanky man in a janitor-like uniform and hat. Duh. I'm the Windows Viper. I viped the windows. A pause of silence, then applause and laughter erupted in the other half of the throne room, lifted away to reveal a studio audience. Twilight and the others stared in bafflement as some stage hands came up to unlock Yeko, Weko and Dot and the other captors. The Warners and their companions smiled and bowed deeply to the crowd that gave a standing ovation. Thank you. Thank you. That's our show. Now let's meet the cast. Yeko announced. The director stepped forward. Playing the director, Jane Fonda. The director pulled off his face like a mask to reveal an older woman with blonde hair. Another man in a suit stepped forward. Playing the Hasbro executive, Michael Keaton. He too pulled off a lifelike mask to reveal an aged actor. The Viper was next. And as the Window Viper, Weird Al Yankovic. He pulled off his mask to reveal a frazzle of brown hair and a funny-looking man. The Warners and their ensemble stepped forward again and bowed. I gotta tell you, folks. Friendly audiences are the greatest in the world. They all blew a kiss to the audience. Good night, everybody. The curtains closed on the cheering crowd and the music began to die down. What in the name of all that makes sense is going on? Twilight shouted, effectively silencing the noise. It's over. Dot yelled in glee. The Warners all grabbed hands and jumped round in a circle. We did it. We did it. We did it. Princess. Twilight turned to Celestia with a pleading look. Celestia only stared in baffled bewilderment. I think I'm going to take Applejack's advice and stay out of this. I hear that. Applejack agreed and the two simply walked away. The Warners finished jumping and Weko lifted his hat to reveal a small laptop. He plopped it down in front of everyone. Come on. Let's read the reviews. The Warners and their entourage all gathered around a small computer. Oh boy, I can't wait to see what they think of our triumphant return to television. Dot said excitedly. All the eyes scanned the words on the screen and frowned. Yeko waved his hand dismissively. First reviews are always trolls. Let's just keep writing, they continued, and everyone's frown simply deepened. I don't get it, Weko lamented. We hit all the classic gags, we hit all the characters, Dot said. We hit the same voice cast even. Yeko groaned. So why didn't they like it? Don't you see, guys? Pinky walked forward, drawing everyone's attention. You guys weren't popular because of those things. You guys were popular because you were brave enough to do those things in a kid show. Your show was super popular. It still is. But it was dated. With constant references to stars and movies that were a product of their time. But the reason you've been such a following is because you used the datedness as a strength and made it timeless. It's the kind of amazing balance that we'll probably never see again. Viewers don't want to watch beloved characters like you repurposed and played out to attach themselves to the latest trends. They want to know that you're always there when they need a laugh, just as pristine and unsoiled by network merchandising and wearing as the day you were born. Today's viewing audience may not get the jokes, but the wit and humor still hits. And you've inspired countless souls to continue your funny work in other shows. She wrapped her hoods around the Warners in a hug. You guys may not think you're popular anymore. But do you really need to be? Don't you think you deserve a little rest and reward for all you've accomplished? The Warners and their companions were silent, some looking down shamefully and kicking their feet. The ponies simply stared at Pinky in amazement. Did you get any of what she just said? Rainbow whispered to Rarity. Not a word. Yeko finally smiled defiantly. You know what, siblings? She's right. Who needs a comeback? Yeah. Dot shouted proudly. Let the younger folks take care of the business. We're always there when they need help. Weko pulled a little on Pinky's mane and then wrung his hat in his hands, looking down. Miss Pie. Do you think there will ever be another Gookie? Pinky smiled and placed a hoop on his shoulder. I'll get started on one right now. And it will blow yours out of the water, she winked. Weko smiled widely. You on? The Cape twins giggled happily on her back and Pinky jumped as she remembered them. Ah. Pound and Pumpkin. I've got to get them back home before Mr. Cape comes back. She dashed out of the castle in a blur of pink. The remaining ponies watched Pinky as she went and slowly turned their gazes on the Warners. Well, it looks like we've got to run, Yeko said as he saluted and ran off. Thanks for having us, Weko said as he tipped his hat and followed. But they said Dot was the last to run. The rest of the entourage blinked and ran after them down the hall as well. Get them. Twilight shouted. It's that time again to show Warner Brothers the error of their ways. To refocus the fanboy hate from Michael Bay to Zack Snyder? No. It's time for the Wheel of Morality. A large roulette wheel rolled over to them. Yeko gave it a slight shove. Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. It stopped and a sheet of paper printed out from beside it. Yeko grabbed it with a flourish. And the moral of today's story is, remember to binge watch Netflix only in moderation. Hey, that actually fits into this story, Dot mused. Yeah. Huh, I guess it is. Yeko crumpled up the paper and threw it over his shoulder. Then let's make our own moral. Never confuse a brony convention with a furry convention. Amen. They both uttered, giving a shiver. They all turned to the camera and waved. Bye everybody. Wait. Twilight shouted from off screen. Yep. The Warners took off and then the rest of their cast followed after them. Twilight and the others were next, jogging quickly behind them, Fluttershy carrying a net. Epilogue. Pinky took her last few steps into the cake shop and collapsed on the floor. The babies immediately crawled off her and over to their toys. Finally, home again, and none the wiser, she moaned. Mr. Cake walked in suddenly and saw her lying there. Pinky, what are you doing on the floor? Trying to decide if I should ever get up. Pinky mused. Mr. Cake shrugged. Well, you look a little overworked. Go ahead and take some time off. Pinky raised an eyebrow. Really? Yeah, I actually hired some pony today. He can take over your shift. The doorbell tinkled behind them and Pinky turned warily. Meet Butt-Boo. A pony sweet chef from the Far East. She looked up to see a tall chicken in a white robe and fake hooves and tail taped to his chest and butt. A fake long white beard flowed down his chin and twitched as he cocked his head with his blank expressionless eyes at her. Pinky raised a hoof to say something but stopped and shrugged. I'll forget it in the end. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video make sure to like and leave a